Thank you very much. I'm actually struggling a bit with the calligraphy of the writer. I beg for your pardon. We have the Honorable Rotimi Jacob in the house. Please, a round of applause. You're welcome, sir. And we have Honorable Lamir Omar. You're welcome. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The next item on the agenda speaks to
steady GDP growth in the past 25 years of democracy, with an average growth rate of around 6% per year. This has been driven by expansion in various sectors.
Recognition is a constant, and I assure you that as we progress in this meeting this evening, we'll continue to recognize our dignitaries as they pour in. Permit me at this time to set the stage. Honorable Minister, when I was asked to handle this item on the agenda, I thought to myself,
also, government has
what
invested in various
Nigeria celebrating
infrastructure projects,
June 12th? And what is June 12th all about? Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to commemorate a pivotal day in Nigerians' history, a day that has come to symbolize the resilience and determination of our nation in its pursuit of democracy and justice. June 12 holds a profound significance in Nigerians' democratic journey. The significance deeply intertwined with the legacy of Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, fondly known as MKO Abiola, and the valiant efforts of the National Democratic Coalition of NADECO. June 12, 1993 marks the day when Nigerians June 12, 1993 marks the day when Nigerians came together in an unprecedented act of unity and hope, casting their votes in what was widely regarded as the fairest and freest election in nation's history. This election saw MKO Abiola, a philanthropist, businessman, and a true patriot, emerge as the presumed winner, capturing the hearts and aspirations of millions of Nigerians who longed for change and good governance. However, the joy and anticipation that greeted the election results were short-lived. The military regime of the time annulled the election, plunging the nation into a period of political turmoil and uncertainty. This unjust annulment not only robbed Nigerians of their democratic choice, but also sets the stage for a fierce struggle for the restoration of democracy. In the face of this grave injustice, MKO Abiola stood firm, declaring himself the rightful president and embarking on a courageous campaign to reclaim his mandate. His unwavering commitment to democracy and the will of the people made him a symbol of resistance and a beacon of hope for all Nigerians. Despite facing imprisonment and ultimately sacrificing his life, Abiola's legacy as a champion of democracy endures, inspiring future generations to continue the fight for justice and equity. Equally significant is the narrative, is the role played by NADECO. Formed in 1994, NADECO was a coalition of pro-democracy activists, politicians, and civil society groups who rallied against the annulment of the June 12th election and the subsequent military dictatorship. NADECO's relentless advocacy, both within Nigeria and in the international community, kept the flame of democracy burning during some of the darkest days in our nation's
bringing knowledge.
history.
We're in the knowledge age.
Today, as we reflect on the significance of June 12th,
the process
we honor the memory of MKO Abiola and the indomitable spirit of Nadeko. Their sacrifices and relentless pursuit of democracy have paved the way for the freedoms we enjoy today.
And in the knowledge age also,
June 12th is not just a date on the calendar, it is a symbol
for results. So we
of our collective resolve to uphold democratic values, fight against oppression, and ensure that the voices of the people are always heard and respected.
Spend money.
For many years, June 12 was celebrated in various states, particularly in the southwest of Nigeria, as Democracy Day in honor of the struggle and sacrifices made for democracy. In 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari officially recognized June 12 as Nigeria's Democracy Day, replacing the previous date of May 29.
The moment you allow the best
Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
anything government wants to do,
in setting this stage, let us remember that the struggle for democracy is an ongoing journey, one that requires our active participation and vigilance.
That is the biggest guarantee for
as we
success. Anything you want to do, simply ask. This is what we want to do.
This is for us. We're not in vain. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I so submit. And while I was preparing this speech, you might wonder to ask, was this young man born during this time? The answer is no. But research is very important. And this history has to be passed down to our children. Please, a round of applause for our fathers of democracy.
Nigeria's plan to change its status.
Permit me at this time to continue the recognition, as we have in our midst the representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Otumba Mike Musa, MON. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We also have in the auditorium the son of the figure we look at when we talk about democracy, the son of late Chief MKO Abiola and Alhaji Kudirat Abiola. We have Alhaji Abdul Mumi Abiola in the house. Thank you. We also have the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Dr. Ahmad Umar Danuba. Please, you're welcome.
With somebody on rationality to
very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to bore you with long talks. Permit me at this time to invite to the podium
so whatever you consume, you are
the
spending.
Honorable Minister of Youth Development to give us the welcome address. At this time, please put your hands together for Dr.
Remarkable in the sense
Jamila Bio Ibrahim. Please, a round of applause for her.
The petroleum motor spirit. Every household consume, every government official consume. But is this produced locally? If it is not produced locally, then you are sending out jobs to those economies. On relative basis, what Mr. Agu Ojukwu is trying to portray, any system that doesn't work out collective prosperity, that economy is recording serious mishaps in the system. Let me put it again in a simple manner. Fundamental economic problems always assume what, when, and how. For you to win an idea, you may have an idea, I may have an idea, but for you to be secured in Zamfara State require different model for you to be secured in Port Harcourt City. So these are some of the things you measure democracy based on what Abraham Lincoln was trying to portray.
Good evening.
Meaning that if there is a
representative
government,
of the
that government
government
should
of the
be
Federation,
for
His Excellency
by
Senator George Akume.
So, you know, but by definition, when you
represented by
check
Otumba Mike Nswan,
the
MON,
successes recorded in the democratic
and the members of the House of Representatives, Honorable David, and Honorable Usman Banye, and Honorable Uche Okonkwo, Honorable Ala Akala Olamiju, Honorable Mukhtar Shagara, my brother, Honorable Sesi. Pardon me if I'm unable to pronounce the names properly, but I will give them a shot. Honorable Sesi Weimingen, and Honorable Rotimi Jacobs, Honorable Lamir Omar.
When you look at what the nation has succeeded
by association, House of Reps by association.
so much.
I thank you all very much for coming, and I would also like to recognize the National Youth Leader of the All Progressives Congress, my brother, Honorable Daya Israel Abdullahi, and the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Dr. Umar Ahmed Dunoma, and the directors here present from the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Mr. Samuel Oluwasho Martins, the guest speaker, and I would also like to recognize especially Alhaji Abdulmumin Abiola, who is the son of the late Chief MK Abiola, the icon of June 12th, and the struggle of the struggle for Nigeria's democracy. Also, the son of Alhaja Kudirat Abiola, both of blessed memory. I would like to indulge us to please rise and say and observe a moment of silence for the souls of all our beloved ones who have departed in the struggle for Nigeria's democracy.
So they combine and form a new problem. And if you fail to solve them, they will also combine and form another problem. For any word you hear,
may their souls rest in peace.
Sometimes you might hear about synergy. And synergy simply tells you
and the zonal youth leader of the South-South,
instead of giving you two, gives you three.
oh no, the deputy national youth leader, my brother, Mr. Jalaluddin Kabir,
If I do something and you do something,
and the zonal youth leader of South-South, Comrade Ebimobowe, Oya,
this activity is bad.
and the Delta
What
State youth
activity is
leader,
bad?
Napoleon
We combine to
Kenere Kedi,
put us in bigger
and
problems.
Dr. Jason Baba Kware,
We should have.
zonal youth leader
That is why
of
anytime
Northeast.
You have multiple problems in your
Honorable Mohammed Mohammed,
transformation.
Kogi State APC youth leader,
They are not the same.
and Honorable Lawal Suleiman Duduyami, my own youth leader, the youth leader of Kwara State APC.
Control that is bad.
Well, Comrade Mohammed Abbas Isa as well, the SSA to the President on persons with
Clean up.
special needs.
You transform. You start from the very beginning. Find your
I thank
new
you for
mission,
coming, and
you
other
change everything
persons
from
who I haven't recognized,
And
pardon me,
anytime you see
because
so many problems,
you're all too important, and
we
I would,
as management
and I do not want to keep us waiting. I do not want to spend the entire night
where we use every
reading
problem
out protocols. So I'll just go straight to
Because
my speech, and I thank
when you hear
Mr.
some
Kelvin
of our legislators
the-
say they have found, they have
for setting
identified the problems
the
of Nigeria.
stage
What
for
they
the
have
night,
identified are the symptoms
and
of the
giving
problems,
us a
not the
very
problem itself. But when you have a problem,
great,
it's like somebody who has
memorable
you
walk
have
down
body
the
weakness,
history
you
of
have
Nigeria's
this and that and
democracy.
that. But
Thank
your
you very
doctor
much.
collapse
So
everything.
I wouldn't want to
That
bore us go
thing
into
is
that. I'm just here to give a good remark.
So, if
So as we celebrate Democracy Day, a day that marks 25 years of uninterrupted democracy in our country, we also celebrate and mark the dawn of a new era for Nigerian youths. This day marks a significant milestone in our nation's history, a testament to our enduring spirit and collective resolve to build a democratic society for all. With great pride and a deep sense of responsibility, I stand before you as we embark on a transformative journey to empower our youth and redefine the future of our beloved nation, Nigeria. Fellow young Nigerians, this is not just another speech. It is a declaration of hope and a testament to the fact that it is a new era for Nigeria's young people. Under the visionary leadership of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, our administration is committed to ensuring that young Nigerians take the reins of our country's political, economic, and socio-cultural spheres. This commitment is not just in words, as it has been in times past, but in meticulously thought through and diligently executed plans. We're not merely creating opportunities for every young Nigerian. We're preparing, equipping, and empowering you to seize these opportunities. Today, I issue a clarion call to Nigerian youth, to all Nigerian youth. Partner with us, join hands with us, with the Ministry of Youth Development and the government, and take the lead in our nation's quest to become a trillion-dollar economy. Let us stop celebrating young people achieving in diverse sectors as an anomaly. We must normalize it. Instead, let's make it the norm and start celebrating older people's achievements as the exception. Over the past year, we have made significant strides, and I am excited to share our ongoing and upcoming initiatives. So 25 years gone down the lane in democracy, in Nigeria's democracy. So the next couple of years to come, this administration is setting the tone for transformation when it comes to young people taking the reins of leadership in this country. So the first of our upcoming and ongoing initiatives is the Nigeria Youth Investment Fund, which has recently been restructured and will commence. It calls for entries by June 30th, 2024. We have streamlined the process to ensure more young entrepreneurs can access the funds they need to be innovative and to be creators of employment. The second will be the National Youth Skills Program. This program will kick off by July 30th, 2024. The NYSP aims to train over 1 million young Nigerians, providing them with the skills needed to thrive in today's economy. The reforms of the NYSC. The implementation of the NYSC reforms will begin by July 30th, 2024. These reforms will integrate skills development and entrepreneurship into the youth service year, making it more impactful and economically beneficial for our graduates and the nation at large. The Youth Development Bank will be launched by August 30th, 2024. This bank will provide tailored financial services to youth-led ventures, supporting innovative ideas and business growth. The Young Leaders Institute will be launched by August 30th, 2024. This institute will nurture the next generation of leaders, the next generation of Nigerian leaders with skills, knowledge, and the network needed to excel. The sixth will be, I'm glad that the hall is full of young legislators. We will be calling on you soon and soliciting your support as the next set of legislative actions will be taken, and we'll be needing your support 100% through the entire process. So by August 30th, 2024, we will be sending bills to the National Assembly to institutionalize the 30% youth quota that has been approved by the Federal Executive Council to ensure that young people have a seat, more seats. We create more seats for young people at decision-making tables. So at the federal, the local government, and the subnational, that is the state level, we want to institutionalize a minimum of 30% youth quota for youth involvement in governance with an equitable young women inclusion. The second bill will be to restructure the Center for the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, the CLTC, and establish the National Youth Fund by institutionalizing it as well. The Youth Investment Fund was an initiative of the past administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, and on our assumption in office, we embarked on a review of the fund, and recommendations came in that the fund needs to be restructured. And we also thought that there's no need to reinvent the wheel since government is a continuum, and well, we don't have time to reinvent the wheel, and young people cannot wait to be impacted by government. So, in a bid to ensure sustainability, the fund has been restructured to be more impactful. The obligor limits of the fund has been increased, and to align with the current economic demands of the high cost of living. And the fund is restructured, and we will soon start to access the funds. Hopefully by the 30th of June, we'll call for applications. So the NEF will be institutionalized, and will establish the National Youth Fund through an act of parliament in order to consolidate the Youth Investment Fund. These legislative actions will solidify our commitment to youth empowerment and ensure sustainable development. In conclusion, our journey towards a more prosperous and inclusive nation is well underway. As we celebrate this Democracy Day, let us embrace the renewed hope and excitement that comes with it. The future of Nigeria is in your hands, and together we will build a nation where the achievements of young people are the norm and not the exception. Let us move forward confidently, knowing that our plans are strategic, our implementation is diligent, and our commitment to empowering the youth is unwavering. I thank you very much for listening.
No matter what you provide, when it comes to agriculture, for instance, Nigeria has never left agriculture. But what we fail
I believe we can do much more better for the Honorable Minister.
we cannot have growth without development. Any growth you have without development.
Thank you very much.
The lack of
You all agree with me that the Honorable
we have a
Minister
situation in Nigeria where
is soft
we have
spoken,
so
but
many
filled
people
with so many promises and
in
achievements.
agriculture
Please,
producing
once again,
potato,
celebrate the Honorable Minister of
When
Youth
you go to other
Development.
countries, you see, few people. In America, it's just about 3.5% of the population.
And while the Honorable Minister was giving her welcome address,
developed,
one of the icons of democracy,
they will not.
one of the gladiators, and one of the pillars of Nigerian democracy stepped into the building. Please, can we give a rousing ovation for Babagana Kingibe, GCON.
Like it's done in other places. Look at ordinary Thailand. When I say ordinary, I'm not denigrating them. I'm just saying Thailand.
Thank you very much.
Yes, compared to Nigeria.
Thank you very much. You may please be seated. Thank you very much, sir.
Thailand produces a lot of cassava.
Was a young man growing up, and when I heard the catchy SDP Abiola Kingibe's chant, and looking at you physically, you've done so well for Nigeria, and we are grateful for men like you. Thank you very much.
You do not
Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're moving to the next item on the agenda, which is the goodwill message. And to kick off the first goodwill message of tonight is no other person than the National Youth Leader of the All Progressive Congress, Honorable Dayo Israel. Please a round of applause for him as he comes off stage.
Thank you very much.
And thank
Your
you for being
Excellency,
part of the program. Don't forget Nigeria
my
TV
sister,
every weekday at 7:30
the Honorable Minister for Youth Development
Check out this episode and others
of the
on
Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please help me give her a big round of applause.
Once again, thank you for watching. I am Clinton. Goodbye.
let me use the word, Your Excellency, His Excellency, a former Minister of Foreign Affairs, our father, an icon of June 12. I remember the first time I ever met him. I believe he was in New York at the World of Astoria Hotel. I think it was around the end of the Obasanjo government in 2006. We had the Nigeria Meets the World event organized by Nduka Obiagbeno this day, and everybody that mattered in Nigeria was there. His Excellency Alhaji Baba Gana Kingigwe, let me use the word, the former Vice President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, ably represented my brother, the Otumba. Permit me, Honorable Minister, because the time we have given me is very short, to stand on existing protocol, of course recognizing my deputy and zonal and state youth leaders here present and youth stakeholders. I think that this is the most important event in the celebration of Democracy Day in Nigeria this year, because the theme of this celebration, Honorable Minister, is Nigeria's democracy, the future. And you cannot talk about the future without talking about the people who own the future. I'm sorry, the people that own the future were not the ones at the banquet hall of Aso Villa this morning. With all due respect, Your Excellency, the people that own the future are those in the Ladi Kwali Hall here tonight. They are the young men and women of our great country who serve diligently in the legislature, like my brothers from the National Assembly. They are those who have used their innovation, intellect to solve problems and are creative in art, in tech, in various sectors, in entertainment, in music, in data, artificial intelligence, in agriculture. Young men and women, brave, who have refused to let Nigeria happen to them, but that they have happened positively to Nigeria. We're writing our story in Hollywood, in Bollywood, in Nollywood, and are blazing the trail, have taken over Netflix, are always on the top 10 film on Netflix of the week. You're always finding a Nigerian story. We are the lushness of this Greenland. And you know, I think that is why the Honorable Minister is wearing green today, because it signifies the lushness that we represent, we, the youth of Nigeria. And so I want to thank the SGF and of course the Ministry of Youth for putting this event together. I know that if we had been allowed, the whole of Sheraton cannot contain our energy, cannot contain our creativity, cannot contain our representation, but we will manage what you have done for us this year. Next year, we want to fill Abuja Stadium. And so, Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, our former Vice President-elect, if I may say before I sit down, that the future of our democratization is in our hands. And so the leaders of today must be conscious of the attention they pay to our generation. It is important to note that the young people of Africa, in particular Nigeria, which is the largest population in Africa, are ripe and ready for leadership. However, we have to ensure that the only route to leadership on our continent is not by guns. If you look at the issues going on from Congo to Burkina Faso to Niger, young people on the continent are becoming restless and are rising to take political leadership or military leadership on the continent by the ways of guns. Here, many people in parliament under the age of 45, this is preparing us for national leadership, but we can do more. And so as I step down to sit here, I want all of us to ponder and think, what role do I have to ensure
that the Nigeria of 2050 is better than the Nigeria of today. And what Nigeria do I, as a young person, want to bequeath to my own sons? And so we have a duty